There was, however, a low voter turnout Monday in the by-election. Deputy Leader for Area Council 3, Michael Stern, says it was not surprising.
We had expected a low turnout, right? Because by-elections in large do not attract the same numbers as a general election. And it was worse in terms of when you're not competing with the People's National Party, which is a major party in the seat. They put up one of their former caretaker, but I think they would do better in the seat that the caretaker would have run before, right? So we knew that in the other seats, they would not really have any competition. But we knew we have a figure and probably will strike those numbers. Internally, we knew a figure that would strike. And I think when the figure come out, we'll be close to those numbers. We're not hiding from the fact that people in general feel that you win already because you're not really up against somebody. But we wanted to make sure that we encourage the people to come out in a democratic way to send a signal to Jamaica that the democratic process still exists in Northeast Enter.
And the spokesperson for Matthew Samuda's campaign in Northeastern TAN says Samuda performed according to the party's predictions. Speaking on Lead Story Monday, Senator Abka Fitzhenley says the commanding victory by Samuda at the polls was expected.
We performed according to expectations. You might recall, Mr. Samuda, that Matthew indicated in an interview today that he anticipated about 4,000 or just over 4,000 votes in this by-election. And we have achieved that, I can indicate. The latest information coming to me is that with 146 of 146 boxes counted, Matthew Samuda has won, after preliminary count, this is 4,838 votes. Neil Chase has got 30 votes, and the other individual, David Fritz Anderson, has got 222 votes. So Matthew Samuda has commanded 95% of the votes cast today, according to the preliminary count, based on information coming to me, and has indeed achieved the objective today, that is Member of Parliament elect for Northeast St. Anne's. In summary, I think the machinery worked pretty well. Members of the party's top brass came out and they did the hard yards. They put in the work, and hence we have seen this result.
Now, leading up to the by-election, there were speculations independent candidate David Fritz Anderson was representing the People's National Party, the PNP. But when questioned on the matter, he rubbished those claims.
You can't prevent people from speculating, right? But the fact is, knowledge beats all speculation. Knowledge erases all speculations. I don't do good at playing hypocrite, so I can't play both as people would say, right? Whatever you see from me is my true intentions. I don't play two sides. I don't know how to do it. I never practice it. Never did a course in it. I'm not interested in knowing anything about it.
On to other news now. 4 people were murdered and 3 seriously injured in a bloody gun attack in Westmoreland on Monday night. Reports are shortly after 10 o'clock, 4 armed men traveling in a Toyota Corolla Fielder motorcar drove up at an Instagram lounge on News Road in the parish and opened fire on those on the scene. It's understood during the attack, a man identified only as Future, who was said to have been part of the team of men carrying out the shooting, was shot and killed by his cronies. The other 3 victims have been identified as Damian Baker, 41 years old, O'Dane Scott, also called Moses, and Rocky Lawrence, all of a New Roads address. Those injured include Jodian Spencer, a 35-year-old bartender of Portmore in St. Catherine, Diana Wilkes, 23, also a bartender of Old Harbour in St. Catherine, 52-year-old Dave Campbell, a labourer, and Devon Price, a 60-year-old farmer. The police are continuing their investigations. Now, October is regarded as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a number of activities are usually planned to continue sensitizing and educating the public. Consultant General Surgeon Volunteer at the Jamaica Cancer Society, Dr. Hugh Anthony Roberts, was a guest on Sunrise, telling viewers about signs to look for and where treatment can be sought.
Things that you just need to know in your history. Like, for example, if you have anybody else in your family that may have had breast cancer, that's a clue. You can do genetic testing for that, something that which we started doing at KPH more routinely as well since we started the breast clinic in October 2020, ironically. I must give a shout out to all of the other colleagues there, especially Dr. Copeland, who basically runs that clinic as well.
So pardon, Doc, that clinic was established in 2020.
Yeah, so...
Is it for the public? It's open?
It's at KPH, so it's public. Yeah. So what we actually do is there's a focus clinic that was started. So let me make this categorically clear. Any general surgeon is trained to operate and manage breast cancer patients. And that's part of your training, not only in Jamaica, but across the world. But what we found is because of the incidence, meaning how prevalent it is in Jamaica and the incidence of number of new cases that we have every year, we decided that we're going to have a focus clinic, especially to deal with a lot of those patients that may have, sadly, advanced breast cancer. So we find that compared to first world countries, we have almost 3 times as many patients that present with advanced or late stage cancer, which is still somewhat treatable, harder, obviously, more difficult to treat. It means also that you probably need a lot more cancer regime. So even though I'm a surgeon, the heme-oncologist who administers chemotherapy, the radiotherapist who gives radiotherapy, they are also heavily involved in patients, especially those patients that have advanced breast cancer.
Right.
And then the biggest problem why we always try to promote screening, especially, this breast cancer month, is because when you looked at the cost of it, so even though, yes, healthcare in the public is free, not everything is necessarily available, especially when you're getting into some of the drugs.
We'll continue in just a moment.
And get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
Thank you. Hi, 2 Saka, please. How are you doing that, friend?
Babe, you pull it already? Whoa.
All right, boss.
Have fun, my brother. Could you take this back from me, please? And could I have a case of Saka and 1 cold one? Thank you.
Wait, I know this one anywhere. Saka. Yes, this really works.
Saka, it works.
Fan Central Pitside, brought to you by Edgechem, AIM Financial Corporation, Texaco, and Connex.
And as we welcome you back, we go now to our live discussion segment. The private sector organization of Jamaica, the PSOJ, has proposed a bold policy shift to the government, amalgamating Emancipation Day and Independence Day into a single Emancipendence weekend. The PSOJ argues the move would enhance national productivity and stimulate tourism. But could this proposal undermine the cultural significance of both holidays? Well, joining us is PSOJ President Dimitri Siaga to delve further into those suggestions. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Great. First of all, why does the PSOJ believe that combining those days into one holiday is a step in the right direction for Jamaica?
First of all, I think it's important that we do not lose the importance of the individual holidays. Emancipation Day and Independence Day are two of the most important holidays that we have in Jamaica. However, what has happened is over the years, depending on when the days fall in the week, people's weekends and their week is broken up badly. So people that want to travel on holidays to Jamaica or away from Jamaica end up having a day off of work, a day on work, a day off of work, then a day on work. And it really wreaks havoc with productivity, both personal and in the business place. Because of that, what we are suggesting is that we strongly keep the importance of the days, but we turn the weekend into a celebratory weekend for emancipation and for independence, so that people can enjoy the Grand Gala, for example. People are enjoying going to the Grand Gala and then have to go to work the next day. So what we would do is we'd have a series of celebrations throughout the weekend that people could enjoy themselves and then not have to worry about going back to work the very next day. So we think it's good for productivity. We think it's good for tourism. We think it's good for our country in general. And by no means are we suggesting that we dilute the importance of either day, but rather highlight those days. We think that those days are too important for us not to have a great grand celebration for the weekend on those 2 days.
So you've mentioned the change could boost productivity and benefit sectors like tourism and entertainment. Can you elaborate on that, how the PSOJ sees that unfolding?
Well, this is not something that we have just done willy-nilly. We have done a poll of our membership, and we've done a poll outside. The government did a poll that said 67% of people in Jamaica would prefer if this were the case. The second thing is that we did a poll internally, and more like 90% of our members feel that this would be good for production. So it's something that everybody wants, and we're proposing to the government that they go ahead and implement it. The people have spoken.
People have spoken, he says. Well, we're upon a short break. We will continue that discussion in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
People don't bother feel like you can predict who is going to be in the shop with me. A ship carry you back again. Controversial. How old were you?
8 years old.
Now we're contemplating. These are the digits. What kind of episode this one? Another junction in life.
I have 2 left foot then, sir.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, man. See the back of the Nigeria now. This is my show, and you will not drop word from me.
They even know them things.
TJ, I can't say that no. You're going to mash up somehow.
You know, say barber shop is really there ready to make your cut.
So, what you cut before? The cut, okay.
Now I'm where I want to be.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
Name a place, PJ, that older women go to find young men.
The hospital.
What?
Hospital.